Hello and welcome to Lotus Yoga and Counseling. This is Kailani. I am a licensed mental health counselor and registered yoga teacher in Washington State. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a meditative affirmation practice. And this practice is specifically for people who are caregivers. And you can have your own definition of what a caregiver is. That could mean that you're a parent, a teacher, a guardian, someone who fosters. Doesn't mean you need to be caregiving for a person. It could be even for an animal or an organization. So basically, if you fall somewhere in the realm of giving a lot of yourself to the care of others, this is a meditative affirmation practice to help you put yourself back into the first priority space while also just affirming what you do as important, as meaningful, while also being within your boundaries. Sometimes caregivers really lose who they are when they're taking care of others. It has got to be one of the most difficult things that we do as humans. So for this practice, you could be seated, you could be lying down, you could even be doing other things like chores, washing dishes, or folding laundry. Just so long as you are giving enough attention to this practice that you're really taking in the affirmations, bringing them on board, feeling them, and applying them to your own life. So if you need to get into a particular comfortable position or maybe grab some tea, now is a good time to pause the video and press play whenever you're ready. All right, let's get started. To begin this practice, I would like to invite you to pivot into a meditative space. Begin by listening to the sound of your breath entering and exiting the nostrils. No need to change anything about the pace of your breathing or the quality of your breathing. You are simply being aware of one of the most automatic processes in the body. And I start you off with this practice because a lot of caregivers get so engrossed in whatever task they're performing that they don't learn to listen to their bodies. They actively ignore what's happening in their bodies. So the simple act of listening to your own breath is a great way to put yourself first. If you find that you cannot hear your breath, then you might deepen the breath. Really allow yourself to take a deep inhale, fill all the spaces in your lungs, really inflate the belly, and then take a deep exhale through the nose, long and steady, letting everything go. If you're seated or laying down, you might notice that a deep inhale and exhale can actually rock the body ever so slightly forward and backward, up and down. As you're breathing, as you're beginning to honor the physical needs and processes of the body, I would like to invite you to consider how you came to this place in your life. Remind yourself how you became a caregiver. What changed in your life that you were suddenly called to do this extremely important, humbling work? In fact, does it feel like work to you? Perhaps you call it a calling. Perhaps you've always done this and you don't really have another identity. Take some time to remind yourself of the values that you cultivated to become a caregiver. What boundaries had to be put in place. And take a moment to consider if these boundaries and values that you created for yourself are still being honored in the caregiving work that you perform today. We'll go ahead and work through some affirmations, some statements of affirmation, and you are welcome to repeat these after me silently or out loud. I allow myself to take time to care for myself. I endeavor to work slowly and methodically to ensure the best care for others. It is acceptable for me to have bad days as a caregiver. It is acceptable and professional of me to say no to extra commitments or commitments I cannot fulfill. It is fair that I will sometimes not enjoy my work or get along with the person or people I care for. I will endeavor to learn new skills to better myself and the care I provide. I can hold space for liking and disliking my work. I can and should expect honesty and fairness from the people I care for. I am a practitioner of the caregiving art There will be time when I don't know the right answer or action. It is acceptable for me to ask for help. I do my absolute best to protect the dignity and privacy of the person or people I care for. I am allowed to have a life outside of being a caregiver. Take some time now to let these affirmations steep within yourself. Take notice without any judgment or analysis which affirmations really resonated with you. Establish an intention for the rest of your day to really live out these affirmations to your best ability, while also realizing that as a human, you are perfectly imperfect. Be sure to also thank any other caregivers that you know of, in addition to the people who may have given you care in the past. Release some positive energy into the world for all other caregivers. Revisit this video often to remind yourself of the importance of what you do. Everyone needs a little bit of extrinsic motivation and a reminder that what they do and who they are is important. Namaste.